Thank you, and good morning, everybody. And number one, thanks for taking the time to come and check out what we have to offer for you. Again, my name is Chef Ted Osorio, and what I'm going to do is talk about our biscuits and our scones. So I have one biscuit that I did with everything that you see on this table right here, and that is our 6249 Southern Style biscuit. That's a 3.17 ounce, and it's an easy split biscuit. And basically what that means, it means when it comes out of the oven, you can split it and you can make your sandwich. Okay, so I have that. And then over here we have our scones. Okay, so, and we have two scones. We have a sweet and a savory scone. And we have our sweet scones, which is a variety pack. So there are 3 flavors within the pack that I have, and it's our fruit pack. And it consists of apple cinnamon, white chocolate raspberry, and a blueberry. Okay, and over here we have our new scones, which I absolutely love, which is our jalapeno cheddar scone. Okay, so the difference between the two, I want to talk about that. So our sweet scones are exactly that. So they're more of an Americanized scone. What we like to say is that they have the sweetness of a muffin, but the texture of a biscuit. And with our jalapeno cheddar scones, they're more on your European side, so more savory, not sweet at all. So what I love about these is that they can tend to go to savory applications, and they are spicy, so they have a little bit more heat than what you would expect. So and I love heat, so that's why I love these scones. So a couple of things. So this is how our scones come packed. Okay, they come with the wrap when they're like this. And with this, they're pre-scored, so you can easily break them on the sweet ones. So when they bake up, this is what you get. Okay, it's a pretty big scone. Now, you can cut them in half, and you can cut them in quarters if you want to have some minis or some bites. Okay, so and I have both of the variations up top here. Okay. And just to show you, so I put a little bit of coarse sugar on top just to add a little bit of extra texture to the top. And you can drizzle it with some melted white icing on top to give it a nice presentation. So from that, I'm just going to put that there. And as I speak and go along, because of the new climate that we're in food service, so it's all about everything on the go. So as I talk, I'm just going to put up some options here on what things will look like from a takeout perspective. Okay, so and I did the one thing that I did too, I did a couple of variations, simple variations, so nothing that's going to be too labor intensive, something that's 1 or 2 steps that's not going to take a lot of time out of your operator's day. Okay, so down here I have our jalapeno cheddar scone. So this you need to let thaw for about 10 minutes or so before you break it in half. Okay, and they cut easy. All right, if you want to make a mini scone and put that in a bread basket, but also they can make a nice sandwich item here too. So I just have some cheddar cheese, some sliced turkey, and a little bit of arugula for like a nice little mini bite slider. Okay, so this is something that'll be a nice brunch item that I know would go lovely, but not just brunch, but just something that'd be great throughout the day. On the end here, this is just the scone that's been cut in half. Okay, so once it's baked, I slice them in half, and I put a little bit of sliced ham and a sunny side egg on top of that for a nice presentation. So as I speak about this, I'm going to throw up a few ideas on what that would look like, how it would be packaged to go. All right, so just something that'd be nice, warm, on the go, and out the door you go. Okay, so another idea here too, I did a nice sandwich, so like a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich as well. That can be wrapped, put in a paper bag, or put in a box to go. So just another idea on what you can do with these applications once they're baked. Okay, so next from the scones, I want to show you another idea that's really simple. I took a jumbo muffin pan, okay? And I call these scone breakfast pockets. So basically what you do, you spray your pan, take a scone, make sure that it's thawed, and then I cut it in quarters. So again, nothing that's going to take a lot of time out of your day. And I just place them right inside the muffin pan just like that. Okay, so from there, I'll sprinkle just maybe a half teaspoon of cheese, a little bit of chopped bacon on top of that, and I'll make just a little well in the center. Then I'll crack an egg, and I'll place that right on top. Then once it goes right into the oven at 325 degrees, and this is what you get right here. A nice scone pocket, breakfast pocket. One meal on the go. Okay, so something nice. Let's slice it open, see what it looks like. Oh my, look at that. Doesn't that look lovely? Nice little runny egg. And if you don't like the runny egg, you can bake it a little longer. But just kind of to show you what that looks like. And also what it looks like on the go. So again, just like that. It could be breakfast. It could be something for brunch. It could be something maybe you push that to the side, put a small little bit of mixed greens to go with it. Nice item. Okay, next. As I talk here, just wipe my knife. Okay, next what I have here, I'm just going to take the scone and I'm going to cut it in half. Okay. Once it's cut in half, I just place it together like that on a sheet pan with parchment paper. And from there, I'll just put a little bit of apple pie filling. This is our apple cinnamon scone that I cut in half, but it could be any one of our scones. And that's all it is. And I just throw it in the oven for about 15 to 20 minutes. And then when it comes out, this is what you get right here. So I have a little bit of lemon pie filling. I have a little bit of raspberry bakeable filling right here. And I just sprinkle a little bit of our Nature Valley granola on top. And we call these scone danishes. Okay? So really simple ideas that do not take a lot of time. And as I talk and as I describe the items in front of us, think about what you currently have, what you currently stock in your facilities. And how can that blend with our products to help your customers? Or what are your customers currently using right now where it could pair well together? Okay, so that's that. That's a Danish. So another thing, I'm going to take that same scone and quarter it again, just like I did with the savory scone. So just take the apple cinnamon scone and put them down in the pan. And again, scoop it with a little bit of that number 10 can of filling, pie filling. Right there in the center, bake it, and we call these scone brunch cakes. Okay, and this is what you have right here. This is what it looks like when it comes outside of the muffin pan. So this could be drizzled with white icing. Again, could be put in a box to go. And that's that. Really simple idea. Next, last here we have scone biscotti. And that is the easiest item on the table that you will be able to make. It takes about less than 5 seconds. So you open up your pan, you'll take your bag out, and then take your sheet pan, and just place it right on the pan. You can either do it whole, or you can break it in half and just bake it into a loaf, okay? And then when that comes out, this is what it looks like. And from there, you just slice your biscotti, place it on the pan again, and bake it. Okay, so it's as simple as that, and that's what you get over there. So at the end here, we have our blueberry biscotti, and then the larger ones are white chocolate biscotti. So easiest biscotti you'll ever make, right there. Oh, I have one more idea. So I got inspired. I saw one of our sales force, they made this yesterday, and I wanted to showcase this as well, because I thought it was an amazing idea. So this is a flatbread. Okay, so basically what we're going to do is just take our cheddar jalapeno scone, cut it in half, just like this, and place it together on the pan, just like that. Okay, and from there I'll get oh, here we go. From here, I'm going to take a piece of parchment paper that I'm going to spray, and then I'm going to place the parchment paper right on top of that, and then get something flat. It could be a plate, it could be another sheet pan, and just press it down just so it can go flat. From there, you pull it back. Now your scone is flat. So I have a little bit of barbecue sauce that I'm going to spread on top. And you can put whatever protein that you want to put on top. So you can put some pulled pork, roast beef, whatever filling. It could be cheese, whatever you want to put on top, and just throw it right in the oven. Okay, and I'm going to show you right here what we have. So I made a breakfast flatbread. So I have the barbecue sauce, and this is shredded brisket with some scrambled egg and a little bit of white cheddar cheese that I put on top. And then right next to it, I have the same thing, but I just used some smoked chicken, some cheddar cheese, and I drizzled some barbecue sauce right on top of that. But just something easy and just like another individual item that you can have on the go, just from one scone. So and that's our whole objective, is to show you how to make more with less, but make it simple enough for the operator to want to produce it, and still wow the end user. Okay, so that's scones. So now I'm going to go over to our biscuits over here. And this is one of my favorite things. Oops, one last thing before I forget. I keep forgetting. So these are other items that you can make with our scones to go. So these are just the sweet scones, just cut into different forms and packaged differently. So this is the mini size scone that I cut in half, and these are the bite size scones, okay, that you can cut. So just something different that would go great in a coffee shop or just a small place that's doing stuff for brunch. I think that'd these would be great ideas and great additions to their operation. Okay, so biscuits. All right, so one thing, I have a lot of ideas here that are pretty amazing. Just move that over. And I just want to show you what I did. So this is our 6249 biscuit. Okay, it's freezer to oven. Just place it on your pan and bake it in the oven. Okay, so the one thing that I like to do, I don't like it to just be a plain biscuit, so I like to do different things to it. So you could take it from frozen, just if you want to top it. What I like to do is just dip in a little bit of cool water. And what I have here is just everything bagel seasoning. And just top it with that on your pan, in the oven it goes, just for a different look. Some biscuits to go, biscuits as sides. So this is just what it looks like when it's baked. And I also did some with some lemon pepper on top. So think about other seasonings that you could put on top. Maybe it's black pepper Parmesan, or any other item, other seasoning mixes that you can put on top to enhance your biscuit. Okay, so just another cool idea that you can have for grab and go. Next, biscuit sandwiches, right? So the one thing I want to do is take out just biscuits for breakfast. I want to incorporate them into the other part of the day. So I want to make biscuits profitable after 9 a.m. so we can have something for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I think I have some great ideas here that'll work out for you here. So on the sweet side, so I'm from New York, so I'm from the home of the big sandwich like Katz and Carnegie Deli. So I have what's called a pretzel biscuit here. And all I did here was take my biscuits from frozen and place them on the pan, okay? I bring water and baking soda to a boil. So 2 cups of water for a quarter cup of baking soda, you bring it straight to a boil. And from there, you brush it right on top of the biscuit, okay? And from there, I just sprinkle a little bit of sea salt. You can use kosher salt. If you're lucky enough to have pretzel salt, that's fine to put it on top. And what that's going to do is going to give you that deep golden brown color and give you the flavor of a biscuit. So what I did here, I have a nice Reuben. So I have some corned beef, my Swiss cheese, sauerkraut, and some of my Thousand Island dressing on top. So just another idea that doesn't have to be for breakfast, that can take you into further into the day. All right. Or it could be just as a side. Okay. That could be as a side to go with your fried chicken, as a side to go with your chicken tenders, maybe something that can go on a kid's menu. And again, just another idea on how you can package that biscuit to go. All right. Other ideas that I have here. So here's another idea with the just steak and egg biscuit with the everything bagel seasoning. As we go around, the one thing I love to do is show the versatility. So biscuit, if you let it thaw, you can manipulate the biscuit, okay? And don't look at it as just a biscuit. Look at it as a piece of dough that you can form to do whatever you want it to do. Okay, so just by letting it thaw, I just lightly stretch it, just like this, so it looks oblong. And from here, I'm just gonna dip it in some water. And then right here, I have some Cool Ranch Doritos. That's a cool idea. So you just bake it. And what I did here was just made, I call it a Carnita Crunch. So this is just Carnitas with some pepper jack cheese and 2 fried eggs. So just look at this, just a great idea and just a different way to showcase a biscuit. Matter of fact, I wouldn't even call it a biscuit. I would just call it what I would call it, you know, which would be Carnita Crunch, you know, just a different look. And again, something as a side bread as well. And I coated them on both sides so you can get a nice crunch when you bite into it, and you get the softness of the cheese and just the texture of the pork and the eggs. It's a great combination. Next, keeping that same idea going, stretching the biscuit. Let's say if you have operations where they don't have ovens. Some people just have griddles and they may not have an oven. So I call these griddle breads. So just stretch it. And you can do it right on the griddle, on the flat top, just like that. But I have a little bit of an onion mixture that I have here. This is just onions, olive oil, garlic, and a little bit of sesame seed that I just rub on top of that, and I place on the griddle, okay? And if you let it go for about 4 minutes per side, this is what you get, okay? And it takes a different texture with the biscuit. So it's no longer light and fluffy, and it has a little bit more of a denser texture to it, which is great. And I just put some carnitas on that just to show you as a sandwich on what it could look like, or it can be another side bread to go in with your entree. So just another idea to think about. Okay, so next idea I have here is just put the biscuit on the pan, okay, with parchment paper. Make sure that it's thawed. And from there, I place another piece of parchment paper on top. Okay, and then I put another piece of another sheet pan on top of that, and then I put it in the oven. So the weight of the sheet pan is going to flatten that biscuit, okay? And when that turns out, this is what it looks like. Okay, so we call these biscuit flats. Okay, the great thing about this is that the biscuit still splits when it comes out of the oven. Okay, and what I did here, again, this will have more of a thicker, has a little bit more of a crunchy texture to it. So I call these biscuit tostada sandwiches. So this is just refried bean, some smoked chicken, and some melted jack cheese on top of that. So just another way to showcase the biscuit. right? And the great thing about it is that you don't know it's a biscuit. Okay, so this is what you get when it is all said and done. So just another idea to show biscuits at a different light. And again, I'm going to reiterate, as I talk about these things, what do you have? I'm pretty sure a lot of these things you have already in your facilities. So I'm not using ingredients that you're going to have to special order. Everything is something that should be found in an operator's pantry. And then last, I said another idea with some lemon pepper chicken that I just put lemon pepper on a biscuit. I just put some grilled chicken and some collard greens. So just another biscuit sandwich. So again, as I talk about this, I'm just going to put some of these ideas up here. So these are the biscuits that we stretched. And here's your flat. Okay, and that's a nice little breakfast idea that has shredded brisket with fried egg inside of there. And then lastly over here, this is an awesome idea for a bowl. So I call these breakfast biscuit bowls. So this is just our regular biscuit baked in half, and then I split it in half and put some fried chicken and some collard greens and a fried egg on top. If you want, you can even put a little bit of white gravy on the bottom of the biscuit before you even top the chicken. And I think this would be an amazing to-go item to go. And you can charge big money for this. So just a fried chicken biscuit bowl. But just think about it, right? All the other things that I have on the table that we can incorporate: Carnitas, brisket, ham and cheese. So just all the different things. If you want to put some tater tots or whatever you want to do to make your own signature bowl, this is something that I think would work fantastic for your operators out there. Next, I think I have two more ideas, and then we'll get to questions. Yeah, I started off with just with doing 5 ideas, but then I kept thinking, and I had more. The ideas just kept popping up. So, right here, I'm just going to quarter the biscuit. All right, that took 2 seconds to do. Thawed biscuit, quarter it, throw it in a deep fryer. After 2 minutes, it comes out of the deep fryer. Toss it in whatever seasoning you want. So I did 2 things here. When it came out of the fryer, I tossed it in some sweet chili sauce. And you can call them fried bread bites, fried biscuit bites, whatever you want to call it. And then over here, so here's one idea for a to-go item. And then something over here. Toss it in powdered sugar. And you can call it a couple things. I'm from the East Coast, so we would probably call them fried zeppoles. Or maybe if you're in the South, you can call them bootleg beignets. Okay, so just an idea. And when they come out, they're dynamite right out of the fryer. Okay, so, and just another idea for on-the-go packaging. So maybe have a toothpick, you can just pop it in your mouth or just pop it on the go. So just another cool idea that you can do with the biscuit. 2 more things with the biscuit. I said one more thing, but I got 2. Waffle line. If you know people with a waffle line, this will be great. So basically, take your biscuit, thawed, throw it in your waffle iron. 2 minutes in the waffle iron, and you have a biscuit waffle. This is what it looks like when it comes out of the waffle. And I wanted to jazz it up a little bit, so I press it in some everything bagel seasoning, then I do it in a waffle iron. And then when it came out, this would be a great item on the menu. So I have some wilted spinach, and then I have salmon francaise inside of that. So the spinach and the salmon go well together with the everything spice in the biscuit. And this is something that would be a great item on your table. And then you what we call a biscuit danish as well, which is just a thawed biscuit pressed into some coarse sugar. And I make a hole with my thumb, and then you put whatever number 10 can of filling you have going, and we call these a biscuit danish. And then lastly, this is it, I promise. I call these, I had one more bowl. This is grilled chicken with collard greens as well. Told you I had a lot of ideas. And so right here, I call these banana pudding shortcakes. Okay, so it's just vanilla pudding, sliced bananas, whipped topping, and I drizzle a little bit of caramel on top. And to make the shortcake, I just press the biscuit in some coarse sugar. And this is what you get. You have a nice to-go item there. So that's all I have here for today, but I just want to kind of show you. And we're right on time. So to just show you that I wasn't lying, you can still split the biscuit when it comes out of the waffle iron, and you can do your sandwich from there. So if there's any questions, I'd love to answer whatever questions you have for me.
Thank you, Chef Ted. And for everybody within the call right now, if you have any questions, please feel free to send those via the IM through Skype. We could take those live for Chef Ted. So thanks for the call.
Yeah.
I see a few questions coming through here. The call will be recorded, and we will be sending that out following the call. We have a question here, Chef Ted.
Yep.
Is the scone dough able to be fried?
I have not fried the scone dough. What I would say is I would say probably yes to the jalapeno cheddar. I'm not 100% sure on the sweet scone yet. I haven't fried that, and it's incredible because we fry a lot of stuff here. But what I would think with the scone that's sweet is that may not work because of the sugar content that's within the scone. Okay, so and I think that might fizzle apart in your fryer and really darken up your fryer really quickly, and I don't think your operators want that. But I would probably lean more toward yes with the jalapeno cheddar scone. Good question.
Thank you, Chef Ted.
Yep.
And then we had another question. We'll be sending that in the IM box, but recipe, do we have a recipe collection as well?
Yes. Oh, and I'm sorry. Yes. All the recipes that we have will be featured on our website, and that's generalmillsfoodservice.com. Okay, so generalmillscf.com. Sorry, it's a lot. It's a lot thinking going on.
In the IM box.
Yes.
For everybody to take advantage of. The nice thing with that tool is by day part, by holiday, and by product, you're able to search up recipes and see a multitude of different ways to use each one of those items.
Yep.
We have a few more questions. We have a comment. You sound and look like Denzel Washington. That's a great comment.
Hey, I appreciate whoever said that. It's been a while since I got a haircut. I look a little bit more like Don Cornelius from 1972, but God bless you, whoever said that.
We have a comment in regards to the Pillsbury garlic cheddar biscuit dough.
Yes.
Those can be deep fried if you just want to confirm or talk a little bit.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, there's not. Yeah, absolutely it can. So you can fry them, you can cut them into quarters, and they make nice bites as well. Yeah, great question.
Can they go in the waffle iron? Chris, would you mind providing more feedback? Is that on the scones or the biscuits? Can scones be put in the waffle iron? Chef Ted.
Well, let's see. I'm not sure on the sweet. I think with the, we'll try it because I have the waffle iron here. I'll do the jalapeno cheddar first. That's a pretty new product, so I'm pretty positive that one will work. So I just cut it in half. The sweet ones, it may work, but I think once it bakes up, it may be harder to get out of the waffle iron. But we'll try it. So it's good that I'm live, so we can try it. If I fail, you've seen it first here, okay? So that'll probably take under a minute. Okay, so to see that, oh man, it smells good.
The cheddar jalapeno scone.
That is the cheddar jalapeno scone. So what I did, I just cut it in half and threw it in there. But I'm pretty sure you can put it in whole. But I just want, in the essence of time, I just want to be able to get it out to show that we can actually waffle it. And we can keep the questions coming if there's more as we wait for this to come out. Look at here. Huh? Doesn't that look good? You seen it first, huh? I'm gonna take that and use that, by the way. So that's a great idea.
That's awesome.
So I
Just
put,
to confirm, so that was one of the cheddar jalapeno scones that we recently came out with. You cut that in half.
cut it in half.
Going into the waffle iron?
Yep, and just, I'm just going to keep going. So just because I love the idea. So imagine if we cut this in half, okay, and we put 2 of these and make a sandwich. I mean, just look at that. These are the breakfast carnitas. So just look at that. And this could be just something, again, in a to-go box with a fried egg on top, okay? And maybe drizzle some of the sauce from the carnitas. But just think about, again, think about what you guys currently have. There's always something you're trying to push out there. There's some type of priority. How can we pair this with our products, and then it's a win-win for both, right? So great question. I'm glad that worked. Hey, oh.
Thank you for demoing that, Chef Ted. We have a couple more questions.
Okay.
Do you think the biscuit dough would work for an empanada?
Absolutely. Yes, it would. I can, if I have another biscuit, I can show you. Chef, would you mind getting me a rolling pin real quick? So yes, to answer your question, yes, this is the apple cinnamon scone. Okay, so it will work, but again, you just have to. You have to be tender when you're taking out. You have to be take it easy when you're taking it out. Okay, because it's soft, but it will firm up. Oh man, this will make a great waffle. Thank you. Okay, so I don't have any flour here, but I don't need it. Okay, so I'm just going to take some of this everything bagel seasoning, and we're going to pretend that it's flour. Okay, so. And you can just roll it until it's round, okay? Give you an idea. Okay, just maybe run a little egg wash around the edges. Again, right, I'm going back to that carnita, because that's what I have. Let's break that up. With a little bit of cheese on top of that, some white cheddar cheese, which I think will go great. And just fold it over. There you go. How does that look? Great idea. Yep. So again, something you can bake this up. This will be something that'd be great. That'll go on a nice to-go box. Okay. Something that didn't take a lot of time.
Absolutely. Just a few more questions here, Chef.
Okay.
Can you stuff a biscuit with apple filling and bake like a turnover?
I mean, yeah, it'll just be just like this, but just put apple filling inside of it. And you see, I just rolled it in everything bagel season, and maybe just spring a little bit of coarse sugar on top if you want, or some granulated sugar as well, and that'll work. So cherry, again, utilizing what you have. Like you guys sell number 10 canned pie filling, right? So apple, cherry, lemon, whatever you have, peach. Oh, also, forget that. You take this bad boy, you throw it in the fryer, it's gonna be dynamite. All right? Grease is a food group, so you just throw that in the fryer, it's gonna be fantastic.
Thank you, Chef Ted. One last question too comes from our very own Chef Michael. Would you be able to recap some of the biscuits that were discussed today on the call? Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, I thought he had a hard question for me. Okay, so just to go through everything on the turntable, we have our waffle biscuits. So we saw that you put that in a waffle iron for 2 minutes, you take it out, and it will still split, okay? And then we have our oblong biscuits. So I like to call these biscuit hoagies as well because of the way that they stretch. But just remember, when you let your biscuit dough thaw, you can manipulate it and do a whole bunch of things. Over here is our pretzel biscuits, which we just brushed some baking soda solution right on top of that. And as well as our griddle biscuits, which we just stretched and threw on the griddle. I put my little onion mixture right on top of that. And as we round it off, we have our biscuit tostadas, okay, which we flatten with the sheet pan in the oven, and our banana pudding shortcakes, as well as our lemon pepper biscuits. So again, if you don't want them as sandwiches, these would make great bread basket items that you can just put as sides in the basket. So just flavored biscuits, just to create your own signature item. So, and that's something that our operators need to do. That's their main goal, is to differentiate themselves from the competition out there. I mean, just as chefs, we want to be different than everybody else. We're not trying to follow what everybody else is. We're trying to set the trends, and we want to be the trend setters. And I believe that's what our operators are trying to do out there, to separate themselves.
And Chef, can you confirm what Pillsbury biscuits you were using to make it? One of those items?
Absolutely. This is our 3.17 Southern style biscuit. Okay, easy split biscuit. Okay, 6249 is the number.
Thank you for confirming.
Mm-hmm.
If we don't have any other questions in the chat box, we will take those as follow-up. Like I said, this call will be recorded, and we will be. Please contact or wait for your General Mills representative locally to send out both a recording and an FAQ, along with some product information that was covered on today's call. If you have any other additional questions, please feel free to reach out to your General Mills representative, or please, yes, the recipes will be available on the site, or please go to the site generalmillscf.com, and you should be able to find all the recipes covered today, as well as additional recipes to leverage. So we thank everybody for joining the call. Thank you, Chef Ted, for the time and presentation. One more question: can honey or maple syrup be folded into the biscuit dough?
I mean, if you say folded, it can be part of the biscuit, or maybe if you want to brush it on after, what I would recommend, or even before, if you want to have a different look to the biscuit. But folding it in, I'm not sure what you mean by that. So if you want to, trying to figure out, you can add it in something, like if you want to do an empanada or something like that, you can incorporate it that way. But, or maybe one thing you can do is chop the biscuit up, toss a little bit of honey, but just be careful when you put it in the pan, just to grease the pan a little bit that way. But I would probably more lean to just brushing it with a honey butter, and that will work out fine.
Awesome. Thank you, Chef.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Well, thank you, everyone, again. Thank you for your time. Stay safe, stay healthy out there. Again, our thoughts and prayers are with each one of you. Have a wonderful weekend. Have a happy Mother's Day, and we'll talk to you shortly. Thank you again.
Thank you.